sides. I'm tired of the thoughts you're trying to put in my mind. I never meant any harm, I just wanted to help. You're telling me I've got no one to blame except myself. There's monsters in my head, there's a monster looking back at me in the mirror. Everything's so far from clear, and I'm sorry, I can't help but panic. I'm sorry, I don't understand this. Did I cross my T's and dot my I's? Everything's just blurry lines, blurry lines. You say a friend to all is a friend to none. I'm really trying, I never meant to hurt anyone. Am I wrong? Am I right?
You are hopeless.
You are fine. There's monsters in my head. There's a monster looking back at me in the mirror. I wish that it would disappear. And I'm sorry, I can't help but panic. I'm sorry, I don't understand this. Did I cross my T's and dot my I's? Everything's just blurry lines, blurry lines. Everything's gonna be okay. I know that there'll be brighter days. I tell myself it's all my fault. There are things I can't recall. Maybe I was out of line. Maybe I'm losing my mind. I tell myself that I'll be fine, but all I see are blurry lines. There's monsters in my head. There's a monster looking back at me in the mirror. I wish that it would disappear. And I'm sorry, I can't help but panic. I'm sorry, I don't understand this. Did I cross my T's and dot my I's? Everything's just blurry lines. It's all just blurry lines. Blurry lines.
You've got no one to blame except yourself.
Hello, chat. Welcome to the stream. All right, I'm going to turn off the starting soon screen. All right, nice. So today we're doing the music Q&A, the long-awaited music Q&A. Let me pull up chat again. Let's see who's here. I saw some new faces. Dang, we have 19 viewers right now. That's more than usual. That's so awesome. I'm so happy to have all of you here. Let's see. Hello, Natalie. Hello, Mora. Hello, Starlord, Nathan, Dawn. Hello, Fishy. Hello, Mega. Hello. See. Dang, oh my gosh, there's some of you I don't know how to pronounce your names. But welcome everybody. I see a lot of new faces. Lots of pogs too. Thank you for the pogs. I'm happy to have all of you here. So today, or first let me give some background to what the stream is today. So about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, I put out this post on my community tab on my YouTube channel, my main YouTube channel, Amanda Fagan. I post a lot on that community tab compared to my social media. I do post on Twitter and Instagram, but I post probably the most on my YouTube community tab. So if you ever want to see what's happening, what's the latest, I recommend checking that out on my YouTube channel. And I put a post up about a month and a half ago saying that I wanted to do a music Q&A. And I told people to leave their questions down below. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be answering music-related questions. So if you have questions about songwriting, music production, coming up with ideas, singing, that's what we're doing today. So you've come to the right place. And also, for the first time ever in a stream, my friend and producer Grace is going to be featured. I'm going to call her about halfway through the stream, and she's going to answer a few questions with me that I thought were great questions for her to answer. So yeah. Oh, hello, Izzy. Thank you, Barberry. I appreciate that. That's so cool. I'm happy to have all of you here. I see Grace in chat. Hello, Grace. I just mentioned you. Hey. Oh, no problem for liking your tweet. No problem. All right. So, shall we get on to the questions? All right. So, I have the questions on the screen here, and I have chat over here. So, if I look here, I'm reading you, chat. And if I look here, I'm reading the questions. Yeah, all the questions are music related, and I'm gonna be reading the ones over here that were pre-asked. But if anybody has like any music questions that aren't answered, then I'll take a look at those in chat as well. So let's start. Okay, so the first question is from Brob, and they asked, "Hey, do you think you would be able to do a video on how you make Dream SMP lyric videos? I'm interested on cover artists, how it is done." All right, so what they're talking about is whenever I put out a song, I always have artwork and then lyrics over the artwork. And they're calling that a lyric video, so I'll quickly explain how I do that. So for the lyric videos, first of all, I need artwork. So I love commissioning artists. I love supporting artists. Artists are so talented, and there are so many out there. There are countless artists. And what I do is I'll go on Instagram and I'll scroll through fan art hashtags of Dream SMP fan art. And there's so many awesome drawings. And whenever I find an awesome drawing, I will check to see if their commissions are open. And sometimes amazing artists just don't have time to do commissions and they have them closed. And so I don't reach out to those artists. But if someone has commissions open, I will reach out to them, and they're usually more than happy to help me out. And then I'll give them my idea of what I want the art to look like, and then they'll give it to me in about a week. And then once I get the art, I use a video editing program called Final Cut Pro X, which is only available if you have Apple, like an Apple computer, a Mac, or a Mac desktop. And so that program can be a little pricey though. So if you want to make a lyric video and you don't want to have to spend money, because Final Cut Pro, at least when I bought it, it was $300. I bought it when I was I think I was probably in 6th grade. I was probably like 13, maybe the end of 6th grade, beginning of 7th grade. I bought Final Cut Pro, and I wanted to learn how to video edit. My aunt she knew how to edit videos, and so I wanted to do that. So that's why I saved up my money for like that whole year, and I bought Final Cut Pro. It's a very good investment that younger me made. I'm so glad that my younger self bought this program because I use it all the time. But yeah, so that's what I do for lyric videos. I get the artwork, and then I use Final Cut Pro to add text, and I choose what kind of text, if I want the text to fade, if I want the text to like go by fast. I can choose the font, I can choose what color I want it to be, I can adjust it how I want. And yeah, so that's how I make Dream SMP lyric videos. Let's see. All right. Some questions in chat I will answer. I have a list of questions people already asked. So your question might be on this list, but I see one question that is not on this list. So I will answer that right now. Do you ever plan on putting Tuesday Night or Strangers on Spotify if it's not already on there? So I don't currently have Tuesday Night or Strangers on Spotify, but I have been thinking about putting one of those songs on there. If you don't know what Tuesday Night or Strangers are, sometimes I do music streams. I haven't done one in a while. I want to start doing one again. I got sick for a little bit, and then I started doing more Minecraft streams, and then I've been pretty busy lately with preparing for a gig, and but I want to do more music streams like really soon. Probably August I'm going to do a lot more music streams. But some songs that I played a lot on the music streams were Strangers, and I think I played Tuesday Night before, but Strangers has been a fan favorite. A lot of you in chat love Strangers. A lot of people have asked me to put that on Spotify, and I really like the song too. And I was actually kind of polishing it up the other day, so I'm thinking of maybe putting that song on Spotify. I like Tuesday Night, but I haven't gotten a lot of requests for it. I will definitely consider it, but I'm more likely to put Strangers on Spotify just because I've had a lot of comments asking me to. But if you want to hear Tuesday Night, there's a video on my main channel, Amanda Fagan, from about a year ago of me playing it acoustically. And then if you want to hear Strangers, I have a clip from a live stream on my second channel, Amanda's Archive. So if you want to listen to both acoustically or live, you can check those channels out. But I will consider putting it on Spotify. All right. Is it okay if I screen record? Yeah, if you want to use my songs in animation, go for it. So the question was, I'll read it out loud. Is it okay if I screen record songs you sang in stream so I can use it in an animation? For sure. I'm totally fine with that as long as you credit me. I love animations and animatics and all that stuff. I think it's the coolest thing when people make animatics or animations of my work. Like, as long as you credit me, I'm fine with it. I love it. It's so cool. Oh, you like Fool's Gold and Tuesday Night? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I see people of Strangers. Oh, that's so awesome. All right. So I see a lot of questions in chat, and I will answer them. If I'm not answering your question now, it's because it's on this list, and I'm going to answer it soon. So don't worry. I will answer your questions. So you gotta go, but here's one question. What is your favorite song you made? Okay. I will answer that one because it's not on the list. Okay. So what's my favorite song I made, or am I super proud of? So it's pretty funny because Grace and I, if you don't know who Grace is my friend and my music producer, and she also accompanies me whenever we play gigs. So she's great. And we were talking about this one day, and we know which songs have the most views and which ones like have the least views, but we both really love Bittersweet. And then I don't know about Grace. I know she likes all my songs, but I don't know if this is her favorite. I personally really love Rue the Day. I love Rue the Day and Bittersweet probably the best. Okay, so there's a reason why for both. So Rue the Day, I loved the Bedrock arc on the Dream SMP so much. It's my favorite arc. It always has been. So I love that song because I wrote it about that arc, but also because Technoblade is one of my favorite streamers. I'm a channel member. And Tommy's one of my favorite streamers. And I'm like a long-term sub for Tommy, Prime sub. And so I really like the song because I liked both their characters a lot, and also I really like how I captured Technoblade's character in that song. I spent a long time on that song writing it, and I really like how it turned out. I also love all the synths in it. I think it sounds so awesome, and I'm really proud of it because I wanted to try to capture Technoblade's character in a way that hadn't been captured before. And there were already several amazing Technoblade songs out on YouTube at the time, but I wanted to write something different because I didn't want my song to be like someone else's. I wanted it to like be unique from theirs. So I just really like what I came up with. It's definitely one of my favorites. And then Bittersweet I really like because, well, it holds a special place in my heart because Jack Manifold actually reacted to it, and then Technoblade commented on Rue the Day, which is so cool. But I believe I was the first person to write a Jack Manifold song, and I really love the sounds, and I love the lyrics in it. It's just everything about this song. I really, really like it. But those are my two favorites. Let's see. I'm just reading. I'm gonna scroll back through chat to see. Sometimes. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, your family loves my songs. That is so cool. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Oh, that's why Rue the Day is your favorite? That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. You guys are so awesome. Honestly, I love all the songs I've made. I don't like putting songs out unless I'm happy with them. But if I had to choose, I'd say Bittersweet and Rue the Day. All right, so we're gonna go to the other questions. Like I have a list of questions that people asked me on a post, but first, hydration, because hydration is key. Gotta hydrate. My hydro flask is dirty once again, so I have a water bottle. But I see a lot of different favorite songs. Honestly, like, oh, you guys are so cool. That's so awesome. I love hearing all your opinions in chat. All right. So next question is by or I'll say actually, okay, next question is, there's a few I have to save for Grace. All right, Carmen Elizabeth. I know Carmen is usually a usual in these stream chats, but I don't see them today. But this was a question they left, and they asked, how do you have the confidence to put your music out without worrying about fake compliments? And so what one thing, when you're putting music out, it takes a lot of courage, because like it's your creation, you hold it dear, a lot of times music is really personal, or you work really hard on it and you spend a long time on it and you're just afraid like someone won't like it, and you don't want to put it out there because you're afraid of how it'll be received. But what I have to say to that is, don't worry about what others will think of your music. It's important that you like your music. Don't try to focus so much on what other people will think. Just focus on making yourself happy. Make sure you're putting out music that you're content with. Make sure you put out a song that you like your singing in it, you like your writing, you like the music in it, and as long as you're happy with it and you spend time on it, it doesn't matter what others think. Sure, you'll have some people that might be haters or that might not be fans, but you're also going to have people that love your music, and everyone has different music tastes, so obviously not everyone's going to love your music. But you will have a lot of awesome people that'll listen to it. So don't be afraid to take the risk, because making music and putting it out there, it's all about taking risks. And if you do come across a hater, don't take their comments too personally. I've definitely gotten hate comments before. YouTube usually removes them. And I never really let them bring me down. I usually just think they probably had nothing better to do and decided to pick on someone on YouTube. Or they're just in a bad mood, or maybe the person's in a bad place. They're probably just taking their anger out on you, and you're always going to come across people like that, but just don't take what they say too personally, or don't take it to heart, because chances are they had a bad day and they decided to choose you to pick on that day, but their words are empty. Let's see, I'll read chat real quick. Yeah, hydration. Hydrate, yes. All right. I see some lyric quoting in chat. Oh, okay. This question is not on the list, so I'll answer it right now. Abigail is asking if there's a reason I don't post instrumentals. Yes. Just cause it's for I gotta find the right words to say this. Okay, so for instrumentals, I don't like to post instrumentals just because they take a lot of work, and I don't want people trying to like use that in their works. There's been a lot of cases on the internet. I know creators have faced like a lot of people reusing their instrumentals for their own music and like not crediting them. There's like a chance of theft and drama. And it's just a lot easier if you don't post instrumentals. I don't care if people cover my songs. Also, just for like legal reasons, there can be problems. Sometimes distributors, if you don't know what a distributor is, they put your music out on Spotify and like Apple Music and Amazon Music. And sometimes they have problems where they're like, we won't distribute your music if this, and this. And if so I always just keep my instrumentals off the internet just to be safe, so that I don't accidentally break a rule of my distributor, or so that I don't accidentally break a rule of a manager. So that's why I keep it off, just to like avoid any like problems or trouble. But if people want to cover my songs and like play covers of it, I have no problem with that. Feel free. I love watching covers. I try my best to comment on people's covers and like animatics and animations, because just to show that I appreciate them. I try my best to like watch everything that people make for my content, because I think it's so cool that people would put the time and effort into it. So I want to like give them props, you know. But yeah, if you want to cover a song though, I'm totally fine with that. Let me read chat again. I see, when did you start making music? That is a question on here. I will answer it a little bit later. I see you guys are quoting chessboard. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. All right, on to the next question. Okay, there's several questions that simply a random potato asked. Amazing name, by the way, amazing username, and they had many awesome questions. And they also said that they're a singer songwriter and that they only perform for people that they're close to, and they're considering trying to branch out, but their only concern is that they don't own a lot of instruments and they have no clue how to do anything professionally. That's so sweet. You said I'm an inspiration to you. I feel really touched by that. That's so cool. Wow. So I hope I do you justice and answer your questions right. So here are the questions. So the first question that simply a random potato has is, let's see. Okay. The first one is, how much of your background music is created from instruments you own? And follow up, what instruments do you play? So the first part of that question about background music, I'm going to answer a little bit later in the stream with Grace, because Grace is my producer. But I will answer the second part of that question right now. What instruments do I play? I play... Okay, I was spaced out there for a second. I play ukulele and guitar, and I self-taught myself a bit of piano. Like, I can play piano. I play chords, fifths, octaves. I know a little bit of music theory, but I'm not like an amazing piano player. I can't like play a masterpiece. Grace is like the mastermind behind the piano. She can like play all this crazy stuff. She's so talented. I think I'm just an average piano player. And then I've been learning mandolin, which mandolin is the main instrument in my next song that is going to be released August 2nd. So be on the lookout for that. It's the song, I already posted the hints, but Kanaya and Beetlebug will be featured in my next song with the mandolin. So yeah. All right, so on to simply a random potato's next question. How did you start in your music career? Any strategies? So I'm going to be talking about starting a music career. For honestly, baby steps. Baby steps is definitely the key. All right, so basically, I used to be really shy when it came to singing. When I was little, I sang all the time, and I was super confident and like would literally sing in any place, anywhere, at any given time. I didn't care. I don't know why, but I lost that confidence in middle school. Like when I was little in elementary school, I would just sing whenever. I didn't care what people thought. But then when I got to 6th grade, when I was like 11, 12, I got a lot more shy, and I didn't play any instruments at the time, and I did sing, but I was very shy about it. But first of all, I had to work up my confidence in singing in front of people, and I started off by singing in front of people I knew, like my parents or my sister, my cousin, and then after that, by the way, chat, I see your questions. I'm going to answer them. Don't you worry. I'm just going to finish this one first. So after getting more confidence, I started singing around classmates. You know, first it's family, then I went to classmates and friends. And then one day I decided, I learned how to play ukulele first. And once I learned how to play ukulele, and I started writing some songs, I decided to do an open mic. And which is basically an open mic. It'll be hosted usually by like a restaurant or a coffee shop. Usually not that big. Open mics can be big, but they're usually small, like really chill, like little coffee shops most of the time. And so I went to this open mic, small little coffee shop, and basically a ton of different musicians were there. and you would sing one or two songs, and that was it. And since everybody there at the open mic, most of the people there were musicians waiting to perform, and since we were all musicians that just wanted to share music, it was really chill because everyone wanted to encourage each other. So some like middle-aged guy would go up and play electric guitar and everyone would cheer him on, and then like someone like me who was like a young teenager would go and play ukulele and everyone would cheer me on, and you'd have someone go up playing the piano, and like everyone was doing different things and everyone was cheering each other on. And so I really liked doing the small open mics because everyone there was really chill and supportive, and it wasn't that big of an audience, but there were strangers, so it was practice. And then after that, I moved to I started doing gigs, but I did smaller venues like coffee shops or restaurants, farmers markets. Like there were people there, but it wasn't massive. And then once I got that practice in, I went to small events and small stages. Like one great place to play is like if like holiday events, whether it's like a Halloween event or a Christmas event, though those kind of events are always looking for people to play. So I played at a Christmas like fair, and then I played in a Christmas parade. And I played with other people, so it wasn't like that scary because I wasn't alone. I knew that I had bandmates or an accompanist to back me up. So that always helps. Singing with other people has always helped me a lot. Just knowing you're not alone up there is always helpful. And then after that, when like, quarantine happened, I started uploading music online. And at first I didn't get that many views, but I didn't care. I just did it because it was fun. And I thought it was really cool when one day my song blew up. That was unexpected, but it was really cool. So honestly, just put your music out there, and one day I'm sure somebody will find it. Just don't be afraid to stop trying. Like, keep trying. Don't be afraid to keep trying. All right, let me read chat real quick because I see a lot of stuff has gone by. I see lots of lyrics and quotes. I see Mora's drawing. That is so cool. All you guys are quoting stuff. That's awesome. Isn't August 2nd the Lemberg Independence Day? Yes, it is. I was waiting for people to notice that. I saw one comment of somebody mentioning that. It is. I did that on purpose, and you'll soon see why. But I've been planning this for like 2 months. Since very early June, I've been working on this song. But yeah, I did August 2nd on purpose. Let's see. When you said baby steps, my mind went baby steps to bandage. Oh yes, baby steps to bandage. This is my that's one of my songs that I play on stream sometime. I see that also had to go. Oh, it's okay, no worries. The VOD will be up if you want to like go back. I'll try to timestamp them, and I also will try to clip parts of this VOD. Amanda's the one who inspired me to play ukulele. Oh, that's so cool. Wow. Oh, that's so cool. Maybe they're scared. I love you guys are awesome. You're just quoting. When did you start music? When did I start? I started singing when I was in first grade. I always liked singing. I became a huge Taylor Swift fan. I think I have okay, I'm gonna go to this question. It has to do with what you're saying. Somebody asked me, Wolfie asked me, what inspired you to start making music? And then someone in chat asked me, when did I start making? So in first grade, I was a huge Taylor Swift fan, and I really liked her songwriting. And I wanted to be a songwriter and singer like her, and so I started taking voice lessons. And then like I told you, I became more nervous in middle school, but I started playing instruments in 8th grade. I always wanted to learn an instrument, but I never attempted it because I'd heard stories of people having bad music teachers, and I was afraid to. And then there's so many great music teachers out there, so don't be afraid to try. But there's a girl a grade above me, and she wrote songs and played the ukulele. And I had a cousin that also played ukulele, an older cousin, and she told me that ukulele was so much easier for her to play than guitar. And so I decided that I would try it since it worked for them. And so I started playing ukulele, and then I started writing songs on it. And I one thing I love about I love a lot of artists, but one thing I like about Taylor Swift is her songwriting. Like, her music and her voice is great, but like her lyrics are my favorite part of her songs, because I just like the style she writes in and how she can really capture like a story. It's like, I'm a big storyteller when it comes to songwriting. I like telling a story. So yeah, she's definitely somebody that I take a lot of inspiration from. I know Precious Jewel Amore also like Taylor Swift a lot growing up too. Hydration. I'm just gonna read chat real quick. I was yes, it's maybe it will be a L'Manberg song. You never know. You never know. But oh yeah, I saw your comment. Wise Meowster. Yeah, I was like, ooh, people are catching on. People are catching on. Oh, thank you, Frozen. Thank you. You guys are quoting songs. That's awesome. That's awesome. Aw, I inspired you to make your own music and lyrics. Oh, that's so cool. That makes me so happy to hear, Barry. Oh, that's so cool, Fishy. Are there any songs that you never uploaded? And if so, how did you bring yourself to scrap it? Okay, that's a good question, and that's not on the list, so I'll answer that right now. All right, I'm actually thinking of making a video or several videos leaking scrapped songs, because I have a lot of, sometimes I'll post the original draft of a song on my second channel, Amanda's Archive. I post like gaming, and some covers and live music on there, a mixture of music and gaming. Not stuff for my main channel, but still cool content. And I sometimes post first drafts of songs on there, but I was thinking of maybe posting scrapped songs on there, songs that I didn't use. For me, I usually don't finish a song if I don't like how a song's going, I usually won't finish it. But there have been a few times where I finished a song and I liked it at first, but then eventually I changed my mind about it. For example, I wrote a Nicki song like probably like 3 months ago, maybe 4. And then about Syndicate Nicki, and then I didn't really like it that much. I thought it was cool at parts, but there's something I couldn't find what was wrong about the song, so I scrapped it and it was completely finished. I scrapped a Sapnap song that I wrote like 4 or 5 months ago. I scrapped a Filza song that I wrote about 7 months ago. Yeah, I scrapped a Puffy song. That one only had like a verse and like half a chorus though. But I usually just scrap a song if I don't like the direction it's going in and I can't find a way to fix it. I will try my best to fix a song, but also if like a song loses relevance, like the Filza song was kind of out. I thought it was decent, but it was a little bit outdated, and so I decided I would wait till I know Phil's involved in a lot of plot right now, so I'm deciding to wait to see if something new happens. I see Gamer has to leave, but sorry, I'm reading. It says people are saying bye, Gamer. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see the message now. Thank you for coming to the stream, Gamer. The VOD will be up if you want to check it out. But yeah, so I hope that answers your question about why I scrapped certain songs. But if you guys are interested in seeing my songs, my scrapped ones, I'm definitely considering uploading a few. So maybe. It could be too much work for you, but if you finish a song and then scrap it, yeah, I was thinking about doing that. I might do that soon. The next upload I want to make on Amanda's Archive is the original draft of Rue the Day. It's I just have to like edit the video together, but I found the original draft of it, and I think it's cool because the verses are completely different, but the chorus is pretty much the same. But yeah, I like putting outtakes on there, so I'll definitely consider putting scrap songs on Amanda's Archive, which, if you don't know, is my second channel. All right, on to the next question. Simply a random potato asked another question. How much time does it take to put a song together? And would it be difficult for someone with limited materials to compose? I'm going to talk more about music composition, and I'm going to talk more about music composition and production with Grace, who I will call soon. But I will talk about how long it takes to do certain songs. Honestly, songs are completely random. It could be anywhere from several days to several months. It just depends on how much time you have and motivation. If, for example, Bittersweet is an example of a speed ran song, a very much speed ran song. But I love Bittersweet. Like I said earlier, it's one of my favorite songs. But Bittersweet was made in like 4 days. And it's because Jack's character had this big moment, and I wanted to get the song out before the plot changed, which I did just in time. But I also had a ton of tests that week, a ton of tests in school. And I wrote the song in like about, I wrote the song in, like during one day, and then I sent it to my producer Grace, and then we did it in 4 days. We stayed up till like 3 or 4 a.m. every day, and I didn't study for some tests, which I probably should have. I still got over a 4.0 to be fair in the end. So like, but always study for school, But I speed ran Bittersweet. I just stayed up really late for 4 days, and then I got it out. But then there's another example of, I see someone in chat just asked what song took the longest, which this also plays right into the other part of this question, of a song taking a long time. Rewritten in Stone, and the new song I've currently been working on, which is unnamed right now. I will announce the name either tomorrow or the next day. I've had it named for a long time. I'm just waiting for dramatic effect. But Rewritten in Stone, people thought I speedran that song. In the description, I said that I didn't. I kind of wrote the song about a month or a month and a half before Wilbert was revived. And I spent a long time on that song with Grace because it was a genre that I had not messed around with too much before, jazz. I was in jazz band at one point, but I wasn't in jazz band for very long because quarantine happened that year and the class got cut because it was a music class and you had to be in person, which you couldn't be in person in quarantine. So I didn't have that much experience with jazz. I had a little bit. So that took a long time because I listened to a lot of jazz music, and then I tried to remember what I'd learned from classes. And then Grace hadn't worked too much with jazz music before either, so we spent a long time. And then we also hired musicians to play the parts that we came up with, because I can't play brass instruments and neither can Grace, and we didn't want to use electric instruments, like fake instruments, which fake instruments can be cool, but we wanted real brass. So we came up with the horn lines, and we sent them to actual musicians that like played brass. So that took a long time. And then this song, oh, I see Sally had to go. Bye, Sally. Thanks for coming, and no worries. The VOD will be up. But the song I've been working on that's coming out August 2nd, that song is definitely taking the longest. I started working on that song in very early June, and it's coming out very early August. And I wrote the song on my mandolin, which I don't know if you can see, but my mandolin's back there. I hadn't played a lot of mandolin, but I taught myself a bit so I could figure out how to write it, and I wrote it on the mandolin. I wrote it in about a day, and then I had to reach out to, I wanted it to be a collaboration song. I wanted to have other singers sing in it that were part of the OGs, like the original singers of the fandom, because the song, spoiler alert, is going to be related to L'Manberg, because it's coming out on L'Manberg's anniversary of independence. And so I wanted it to be sentimental, and I wanted singers that were some of the first to sing in it for like nostalgia's sake. And so a lot of the first singers like were my inspirations, and so I thought it'd be so cool to get to work with them. And I know some of the first singers were Kanaya, and Beetlebug. There were others too, but those were the two that I went with. And thankfully, they both said that they would be more than happy to sing in my song, which I thought was so cool, and they're so nice and so fun to work with. And they've just been an immense help, and I'm so excited to share that song with you. But yeah, it's been almost 2 months. But I had time to write. I had the time for Rewritten in Stone and this unnamed song. I didn't have a deadline, so it gave me a lot more freedom, and I got to put more effort into it because I had more time. But then a song like Bittersweet, I really like how it turned out, but it definitely had a lot of staying up late and not getting sleep just because I had a 4-day deadline. So it really depends how much time. If you have a deadline, you'll be surprised by how much you can do in a short amount of time. But if you don't, and you have the freedom to work at your own pace and take your time, then do it. Oh, thank you, Frozen. You're so sweet. Thank you. But there's a lot of great singers out there. This is a weird coincidence, but Amanda's room color is the same as mine. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love this like greenish color and this coral color. They really complement each other. Let's see. I remember seeing Beetlebug's video a couple days after. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I'm so excited for you guys to hear this song. There's a lot of live instruments in it. I hired a lot of musicians to play certain parts in the song. So you'll get to hear real cool instruments. I was so excited. I'm going to be announcing more about that song very soon, but it's coming out August 2nd. All right, let's go to the next song. But first, hydration, because hydration is key. Must be hydrated. All right. Hydration completed. Mission complete. You guys are so sweet, chat. You guys are so sweet. All right, I'm going to go back to answering more questions that I have on the list that people asked me in the comments on my post. Okay, so this one is by, I'm so sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, but I believe it's Yoni or Yanni. And they said, how do you find the core themes for your song? And how do you, and they said, how did you transform Quackity's character and Take You Down, for example? All right, that's a great question. And I am so excited to talk about this question because I think this is, okay. So I'm a total English nerd. And I think a lot of times people forget, not always, but some people forget that music isn't just music, especially when it comes to writing a song. You have to include other things in, like English is, or I guess like language is a huge part of writing songs. And I'm a huge English nerd. I took an AP literature class, and it was like my best grade. I'm such a nerd. And I love learning about like writing and different techniques because you can apply a lot of language or literary techniques and apply them in songwriting. And so one thing I learned is in like studying literature is about character analysis and how to break down a character. And so whenever I write a song, I love writing songs about characters. And so I do an analysis of the character. It's nerdy, but I like it. It's fun. And so I think I break down the character and I think, all right, what are their motives? What are defining characteristics this character has? Is there anything relatable about this character? And I try to pick their character apart and analyze their different like arcs, their different motives, like I said, and I choose sometimes I'll hear a line a character said and I'll think I could really expand on that line, or I think this side of the character is really relatable. And so I'll choose different parts and I'll choose the part that I think fits a song the best and I'll amplify it. And so for a Quackity song, Take You Down, I really liked this arc at the time. I believe it was the first Dream SMP Quackity song out there, which is super cool. But I loved his arc, and I kind of just thought about how Quackity had to face a lot of obstacles and people that were trying to take him down. And I felt like a lot of people could maybe relate to that situation of somebody constantly bringing them down or saying that they're not good enough, like how Jay Schlatt said Quackity wasn't good enough, and about how Technoblade kind of put Quackity's ideals down, and how Dream kind of thought that he could control Quackity and everybody. And so I kind of thought, well, a lot of people face people that put them down. A lot of people face people that try to put their ideals and ideas down. And a lot of people have to deal with others trying to control them. And I thought maybe I could choose those aspects of Quackity's story and then amplify them. And that's what I try to do with each character that I write about. I like to find parts of their arc that are relatable, and then so that when people hear my songs, they hear the character, but they also hear themselves or hear somebody they know, or reminds them of something. I always think it's so cool when I see comments that are like, oh, this reminds me of me overcoming my bully, or oh, this reminds me of me standing up to somebody, or and I always think that's so cool that people can find that, because I feel like music should be interpreted however the listener wants it to be. So if you want to hear a Dream SMP character, then hear that. But if you want to hear yourself in the song, or a friend, or honestly anything, it's totally up to your interpretation. I think music is all about interpretation, and each song should mean something else to each person. I'm going to oh, okay, I see Fishy says I can't seem to find it, but has anyone heard the Cowboy song? Pretty sure. Oh, I don't know if I privated that. I'm not sure if I did. I don't remember. And if I did, I don't know why. But I think I have a lot of, sometimes I private old songs because I'm like, oh, I don't think this was as good as I thought it was. But if you guys like that song, I can totally unprivate it. Yeah, the Cowboy song was a history assignment. My teacher was like, oh, you can do like this really hard presentation slideshow in front of the whole class, or you can write a 30-second to a minute song. So I just wrote the song because I didn't want to give a PowerPoint presentation. Also, like, yeah, and it was a history assignment. But if it's not privated, it was on my archive channel. I don't think it's privated, but if it is, I can try to unprivate it. I kind of forgot about that. Is your songwriting process any different when you're writing collabs? Like way you write lyrics or instrumentals or anything? I won't answer that question because that's not on the list. So for the collab I'm doing and the collabs I have been in, the collaboration, we didn't collaborate. We didn't write together. I was in PJ's song, Our Final Night. You can find that on Precious Jewel Moore's channel. And she wrote the song and I just sang in it. I sang what she wrote. And the song that's coming out August 2nd is like, I wrote the song. And then Kanaya and Beetlebug are just singing certain parts that in the song, but I wrote it. But I have written songs with people in the past. When I was a freshman, there's this talent show at my school, and I wrote a song with a senior, and it was fun, but you always have to, like, you can't be too dominating when you write a song with someone else, because a lot of people have different songwriting techniques, and so you have to respect and know that, oh, you might have a cool idea, but you also have to consider what this person wants and try to come up with like something you both like. One songwriter can't be like overpowering unless the other person, if you have two people and one person doesn't want to write that much, then okay, I could see why you'd have one person doing more. But if you both want to write a song equally together, you have to come up with a balance. You don't want to overpower the other or be rude. You got to compromise. You got to work together. But yeah, so obviously like your writing style will probably be different if you work with someone else, because you have to learn to like listen to their ideas. Let's see. When did you get into the Dream SMP and decide to write songs about it? Okay. I started watching Dream. I was into Minecraft YouTube when I was younger, like when I was in elementary school, obsessed. And then I kind of took a break from watching Minecraft YouTube, but I still played Minecraft. I still played for years after that. I just didn't watch Minecraft YouTube. And then August of 2020 was when I first watched Dream and George and Sapnap. And I found them because of a Mr. Beast video, because I had been watching Mr. Beast, because I thought that their new member, the new Mr. Beast member, Carl, was really cool. And I was like, wow, who's this new guy on Mr. Beast? Carl? I like him. He's cool. He's funny. I want to watch more of the videos with Carl in it. And then Carl was in a competition, or he was in some video with Dream. And then I found Tommy through Dream in early September of 2020. And then I became a avid Tommy watcher. I've been watching Tommy since September, and I probably watch him more than anybody else. Technoblade's a close second. And Wilbur as well. I watched a lot of Wilbur. I watched a lot of Sleepy Boys in general. Yeah, and then I wrote my song, I believe, in November, but I had been watching like the Dream SMP since September, Dream since August. And I really liked watching Tommy, and at the time nobody had written a Tommy song. And I was just like, why hasn't anybody written a song about Tommy? I watch him the most, and I really like his character, but no one's written a song about him. There's a Tubbo song and there's a Wilbur song, but there's no Tommy song. And so I decided I would write a Tommy song. And since I knew his character really well, since I had been watching his point of view mostly, and I had been watching a lot of Wilbur, so that's why I incorporated Wilbur's character a little bit in the song, but it's still Tommy's song. And so yeah, that's how I came up with that. I'm gonna be calling Grace soon. But yeah, Carl is amazing. Could you do a cover of Mask or Road Trip? Or even Your New Boyfriend? Oh, thank you. I see you say I'd sound good. Thank you. I have a cover of I'm in Love with an E-Girl. But I changed it where I'm the E-Girl, and it's like, you're in love with an E-Girl, and I'm the E-Girl you're in love with. No. But I might do that on Amanda's Archive, maybe. I was actually thinking about doing a cover of like Mask, maybe, or Road Trip. Your New Boyfriend is a cool song, but it's kind of like, I would probably do a more recent song. Or maybe I was also considering doing a Lovejoy cover on my second channel, Amanda's Archive. But okay, let's go to the next song. I'm going to call Grace at 4:30ish. I'm going to tell Grace. Just DMing her on Discord. All right, we'll go to the next song. Let me open chat again. All right, I had to tab out to DM Grace. All right. The next question is from Star Cycle. Oh, that's a great question for Grace. Okay, the Magpie. How do you come up with lyrics? All right. So the Magpie said, how do you come up with lyrics? I'm thinking of becoming a singer-songwriter, and I've mostly got the singer part down, but I'm not so good with lyrics, and none of my friends are into music, so I need advice. I am here to answer your question. All right, so writing lyrics, like I mentioned earlier, let that inner English nerd out, because writing songs isn't just music, it's also literature. Even though it sounds kind of weird and you're thinking, no, how could music and literature, they definitely coincide, trust me. So when you're writing a song, obviously, like, you want to, if you want the song to be, okay, for me, I like to tell a story with songs. So, like I was saying earlier about character development and, like, analyzing character, first you gotta break down the character you're writing about, if you're writing a song about a character, and then you choose what part of the character you want to amplify or highlight, and you go off of that. If you're not writing a character song, one thing I do a lot is I think of the song as poetry. I know a lot of people think poetry is so boring, or they don't like poetry. I love poetry, and I do write poetry. I just don't post it because I don't know where I would post poetry, but I love poetry. And poetry is basically a song without music. And so I like, and I take a lot of inspiration from poetry because of rhyme schemes. And in poetry, it's all about rhyming, but it's also about free verse. And songs are also about rhyming and free verse. So if you don't know what free verse means your lyrics don't rhyme, and then rhyming is obviously the opposite of that. So I try to find songs like, oh, do I want I try to find words that rhyme or they almost rhyme to give it a nice flow. And if you need help coming up with rhymes, Rhyme Zone is your best friend. I use Rhyme Zone all the time. So helpful. Just honestly, Rhyme Zone. It's so helpful. And obviously, a given, write from the heart. If you're writing about yourself or somebody else, a character or a situation that someone close to you went through, just write from your heart. Because I feel like if, like, don't write something that you're, like, honestly, you can write anything, but when you are writing something, try to just take it from, the heart. Don't try to be like, oh, I want to write a song like this or like somebody else. Think about your style. Try to do something that's true to you. And just take your time with it if you need to. Some people, it's easier for them to write a song super fast, and that's okay. But some people, it takes longer, and it's your own speed. Honestly, go at your own pace. Do what works best for you. If you think rhyming is good, then rhyme. If you don't like rhyming, then don't. You don't have to rhyme in songs. If you are an English nerd and you want to write about a character, or you're a theater nerd and you want to write about a character, go for it. But if you just want to write about yourself or something you went through, then go for it. Honestly, you can do anything that you set your mind to. Take a chance. Try out different techniques. Try out different things. But yeah, I'm going to read chat real quick. I would love a Lovejoy cover a bit more than a Mask. Mask is great, but also it's become a meme low-key. But yeah, I love Lovejoy. So I was thinking about doing a cover of that maybe. One Day would be a good song to sing. You could just... Yeah, I was thinking of doing a clean cover of Lovejoy. Lovejoy's song, One Day. Because I love Lovejoy. But I know not everybody likes to listen to cursing in songs. And a lot of people want clean versions out there. And sometimes the clean versions of songs are kind of badly edited. So I feel like covers of songs that are clean are a lot nicer than like poorly edited ones. So I might do that. So if people want to hear a clean version of a Lovejoy song, I'm totally down for that. I did a clean version of Jubilee Line on my second channel. But yeah, I'm going to drink water real quick. That's what the point of the mask is. Hydration. All right. So let's see. Next question is all right. The next question is from all right. Okay, next question is by Skyzer Walker. They said they've been working on songs for over a year and decided that they're not very good at it and they want to get better at it. And they love some advice in general. Also, they said they can't sing because of their corpse deep voice, and they want advice on that too. So I kind of answered the other kind of stuff earlier in the video, but I will answer the singing one right now. Singing lessons are such a good idea if you can afford singing lessons. But if you can't, then reach out to somebody you know that has experience. I took singing lessons when I was in first grade. And then I've been taking singing lessons all of high school. You're never too good to take singing lessons. You can always improve. You can always practice technique. But when I couldn't take singing lessons, I decided to take other opportunities, and work with musicians, because vocal coaches are great at teaching you stuff, but you can also learn a lot, from different kinds of singing. And this ties into the next question that Reva asked. Advice for people who want to start singing. So I'm going to combine those two. First of all, like I talked earlier about don't be afraid and like confidence. But one part that both questions have a lot to do is about how I said getting practice in. And like I said, voice lessons are good, but if you can't like find voice lessons, I recommend working with other musicians or singers, because you can learn a lot from different kinds of singers, because music is so broad. And you'll have people that are theater singers, you'll have people that are pop singers, you'll have vocal coaches who are traditionally trained, more modernly trained coaches, you'll have choir teachers, bands, tons of different types of bands, a cappella, like all these different styles are so different, and you can learn a lot from each style. So what I say is, honestly, if you can find something musical to be involved in, get involved in it. No matter what genre it is, whether it seems really different than anything you've experienced before, go for it. Because honestly, you can learn a lot from people, and and it's good to learn things from people. For example, like I said, in middle school, I was pretty shy about singing. And so I went to a private school, and so I joined the middle school worship band, and I used to hide in the back of the church because I was afraid to be seen by people. So I'd hide behind things because I was really shy. But then like I had friends that would be like, well, you can sing with me and I'll help you. And so, yeah. And also if you're an experienced singer, reach out to people because if you want to help someone, they might be too afraid to ask for help. And so I really appreciated the people that reached out for me. And so I had like my classmates trying to help me teach me to get me more confident. And they taught me how to sing harmony. And that really helped me. And then I joined later in high school. I joined the choir, the high school choir, which I'd never done choir before. And I always thought choir was for older people and like really like proper people. I don't know why, but I was like, oh, choir, why would I take choir? And then I did, and it was so much fun, and I learned how to sing a lot higher, because I always sang like tenor or alto, but then I learned how to sing soprano, which is like the higher voice register, and I've gotten so much better at singing soprano because of choir and also musical theater. I decided to learn how to sing musical theater and choir to get my upper voice better, but then when I was in band, I got better at my lower voice. In choir also you do a ton of exercises like do re mi fa sol la ti do and like stuff like that, with hand techniques and all this stuff, and it's really helpful because it just exercises your voice. And if you do voice exercises every day, you will just get better. It doesn't matter, like it doesn't matter, like as long as you do it every day or as often as you can, you'll get better. Because certain exercises are made to expand your vocal range, and so the more you do it, the more your vocal range will expand over time. Obviously, your vocal range won't just get amazing after like one day, but it'll definitely get better, and you'll look back. Sometimes I'll be sitting there and I'll think, oh, I don't know if that exercise really helped, but then I'll listen to myself from like a month or two ago, and I'm like, whoa, I can sing, I can hit that note now. I couldn't hit that before. It really does work. You just have to be patient. And if you can't afford voice lessons or you can't join choir, you don't have the opportunity, go on YouTube. There's so many awesome voice exercises. I could make a video on vocal exercises if you all really wanted me to, because I know a lot from doing a lot of music. And one more thing to add on to this question about other genres that I've been in, I did jazz band in an a cappella group for a little bit in high school because they were an elective one year, and I knew nothing about jazz. I had not listened to a lot of jazz. I had never played jazz, but I decided to do it because I wanted to learn something new and put myself in a new situation, and I learned a lot. In a cappella, oh my gosh, I learned so much music theory in a cappella, because in a cappella, there's no instruments, it's just voices. And so it was a cool experience, and I feel like putting yourself in weird situations, like, oh, I've never done jazz, or I've never worked with a cappella, or like choir sounds weird. Just try it. You could learn so much. I'm gonna read the chat real quick. You mentioning choir gives me horrible flashbacks. Oh no, I definitely have some crazy choir stories, but it was worth it because I learned a lot. But I really respect me for not cursing. I personally don't like it. Oh, that's so. Oh, I personally don't like cursing either, and I know a lot of people like they can't watch content where people curse. And I want every person to be able to enjoy my content. And also, cursing can be triggering for certain people, so I try to make my content not triggering and like enjoyable for everyone, no matter the age. So I'm really glad that you like my content because of that. And yeah, I totally love to sing a Lovejoy cover so your sister could hear it. See, something I don't know is why I'm shy to sing in front of people, but not on video. I'm a whole different person. Honestly, I used to be like that. I could sing on video, but I could not sing in front of people. It just takes practice. Try singing around people you know first. And then when you feel comfortable enough, branch out to other people. But oh no, I see a lot of people that hate their voices. Honestly, anybody can become a good singer if you put the effort, the work in. I've known people that said they had an awful voice and they became really good singers because they practiced and they tried vocal exercises, or they put themselves out there, and at first they would voice crack and they couldn't hold a melody, but now they after practicing they got better. I feel like you could accomplish anything as long as you work at it, and it might take a long time, but it's definitely worth it. And I'm sure all of you guys have great voices, and you're like, don't undermine yourselves. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. All right. Now I'm going to call Grace to answer a few questions. If you don't know who Grace is my friend and music producer, and she also plays gigs with me. So I'm gonna call her right now, and I'm gonna drink water. Hydration. All right. I'm going to call her right now. Let's see. I'm gonna ask you guys how the audio sounds first, though. All right. Let's see. Calling Grace on Discord. I think streamer mode's on. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi. I'm gonna test the audio. Could you talk real quick?
Hello. Check, check, check.
Alrighty, I think it's good. Chat, if is Grace too loud? Is Grace too quiet? I know there's a stream delay, so I probably won't get an answer for like a good 10 seconds, but let me know. All right, I'll just wait to see what chat says, and then I'll hit you up with a few questions. Let's see. Yeah, chat, is Grace loud, quiet? Just waiting a few seconds to read. I think you're good, but I want to be safe than sorry.
Okay. Yeah, it's like I know it's delayed by a bit because you called me right as I was watching you go, okay, I'm gonna call Grace.
Okay. All right, everyone's saying good. All right, cool. Yeah, there's always a stream delay, and if there's more of a delay to get better connection, like if you want better connection, it'll give you like more of a delay, but at least there's okay quality. But all right, I'm gonna start with a simple question, which is how long have we known each other, which is kind of related to music but kind of not, but I thought it was an interesting question. So we've known each other for, well, how long have you known, I'll let you answer, how long have you known me for?
So I've known her for 17 years. AKA the whole time that she has been alive, because our parents actually knew each other like before either of us were born, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, Grace knew me ever since I was born, because Grace is older than me. I'm 17, Grace is 21, so ever since I was born I knew Grace, which is kind of crazy to think about. But all right, now we'll get to the music related questions. I see chat is saying hi and that you sound good, so that's cool. All right. So the first question is by, I believe their name's pronounced Shodoopy, and they had a question about music composition, and they said, how do you compose your music? How do you make it digitally? Do you use a DAW, or do you record actual audio and real instruments? And if you guys don't know, Grace is my music producer, so she handles a lot of the music engineering side of my songs. She's produced almost all of my Dream SMP songs. I think the only ones she didn't produce were Please Don't Make Me Choose and You Were My Friend. Other than that, she's produced them all. So I thought I'd hand this question over to you about how do you compose music? Digitally or real instruments, or both?
Well, I think okay, I think definitely I was gonna say most, but I don't know if that's true. So some of our songs, or Amanda's songs, have actual like acoustic instruments like ukulele or mandolin, or actual instruments by musicians that she's hired. But then also a good amount on other songs is all just the instruments on the Logic program. I think sometimes if we're going for a more like pop kind of sound, or if I'm trying to do that, then I use more of the more of just the electronic instruments that are on there, because you don't usually need a lot of acoustic stuff with that kind of music. Like I know with, for instance, Chessboard and Promises You Couldn't Keep, most of those I just use the instruments on Logic. But then
Yeah.
like Take You Down, that has a ukulele in it. Rewritten in Stone has a bunch of jazz instruments in it, and this upcoming song also has a lot of real instruments in there. I'm
Yeah.
excited
Oh, I'm so
for you all to
excited.
hear that.
Yeah, I'm gonna announce the title either tomorrow or the next day. I'm so excited. Yeah, Grace and I have spent a lot of time on it. Grace has done a lot of production over the past 2 months, and I've had to reach out to a lot of musicians to be in it because we're gonna use some cool live instruments in that song. So be ready, be on the lookout. All right. Next question. So this question is by Poisoned Ash Tree. They said, "How do you balance the audio of different tracks without constructive slash destructive interference, making stuff sound too loud or too quiet on accident?"
Oh, I saw that question, and I feel like I don't fully know the answer to that because I'm not like a super professional music producer, but I was thinking about it, and I do sometimes. So what I'll do is I'll be listening to all the tracks, and I'll notice, oh, like I can't hear this instrument in during this part as well. So like I don't know if this is like what other people do, but I'll just like make a new track with the same instrument and then just turn the volume up on that one part. Or if there's like a part where she's singing and it sounds like too loud or too quiet, I just do the same thing. I just cut that little part and put it in a new track and then adjust the volume, and then like I listen to it, and if it sounds good, then I'm like, okay, good.
Yeah, it's always funny because when we look at like the song, because we use Logic Pro X for all of the music production, but when we look at the songs, a lot of the pop songs have a ton of different vocal tracks because just adjusting certain volumes, Grace will separate them, and then there's also harmonies and vocal layering, which that requires a bunch of tracks too. And I think there might be a question about that. Um, but all right, let's see. Next, let me find the next question. Let's see. Okay. Are you wait, let me check Discord. Are you there?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Oh, yeah, no one could hear, don't worry. Um all right, so next question, I believe this is the next one on the list. It is about background music, and it's by Star Cycle. And they asked, "How do you make the background music?" And hold on, let me see. Yeah, they also had a question about lyrics, but I already answered that. But they said they wanted that they can come up with lyrics, but they oh wait, here, I'm gonna let me read the question again. I think I'm reading it wrong. Okay, how do you make the background music? Getting lyrics and ideas and stuff has never been a problem for me, but it sounds so much worse without any music in the background, and preset music never fits the theme I'm aiming for. So I'll answer part of this and then I'll hand it over to you. Um, so for me, when I always try to choose, I know I've heard this from other musicians too. When you're writing about a character, if you're writing like a villain song, like for example, Rewritten in Stone is kind of like a ooh bad guy kind of song. So I used a lot of minors, and more like, and minors bring out a menacing element in a song, minor chords. Um, I see somebody has to leave in chat. No worries. Um, but yeah, so if you're writing a song about like sometimes you want chords to reflect characters. So if you're writing a song about a bad guy, maybe use more minors. If you're writing a song about a good guy or somebody that has a bubbly personality, like Quackity's song, for example, Quackity can be seen as a villain at the time I wrote the song, but some didn't see him as a villain at the time. But Quackity, you know, Quackity's funny, big Q, you know, always making jokes, but also like kind of like a menacing person, so I tried to like mix the lyrics to sound a little bit more menacing, but then the song was really, you know, upbeat because that's his personality. So always like music, I feel like should definitely reflect who you're writing about or the mood of the song. You want the theme and like the mood and the tone to match the music. So like I said, happy, you're writing about a happy event, try to make it more upbeat, maybe add happy instruments. I'll let you answer this the question because I know you do a lot of that. So
Okay, wait, what was the question? Like,
um
how
how do you come up with background music, and how do you decide what sounds good with certain lyrics and yeah, themes and stuff.
um wait, hold on just a few seconds.
All right, no worries. I see in chat Morris and villain arc songs are poggers. Those are so fun. Those are so fun to write. Honestly, villain arc songs are the best. We're just waiting for Grace. Grace has to check something real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, I'm back. Sorry.
Cool, no worries.
Okay, yeah, so with background music, so I know that for the first few songs I did for Amanda, um I just kind of I just kind of did um I don't really know how I did them. I just kind of went, "Oh, what do I think sounds good?" And then I just like put those instruments in there. But for Monsters and all of the songs past that, Amanda gave me, she said, so Monsters was the first one that she told me like what she wanted to hear in the song. So I remember with that one, she told me she wanted it to sound like eerie or kind of creepy or something like that. So that was really fun for me to find different instruments that kind of sounded odd or kind of weird. And then I think I really like how Monsters turned out in terms of like the vibe of it.
Oh yeah,
But
I
yeah,
love that song.
yeah, with the other ones, I usually just get I just hear what Amanda wants the song to sound like, and then yeah, so it's usually you start out with like a concept of how you want this song to sound. Like with Chessboard, I knew it was like kind of a villain song, and um it had to do with chess, so I did a lot of like classical sounding instruments. I put a lot of harpsichord in there. That one was fun. But yeah, I just Amanda usually has an idea of what she wants it to sound like, and then I just use my own like creative freedom to fill in the rest.
Yeah, it's fun. It's so fun. Like just coming up with a theme, and then you're like, all right, now you got to do something with it. But it's a fun process. It's fun. All right, let me check if there's any more questions. I think that's all the questions, but I'm just gonna look through one more time. Yeah. All right, those are all the questions that I had for you. I'm going to be practicing with Grace for our gig in about an hour. So I'll let you go for now since I know you have to drive over here and get ready. But thank you for coming on stream and answering the questions, and I'd love to have you in another stream sometime.
Yeah, it was fun.
I'll see you in about an hour.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Alrighty. So that was Grace, my producer and long-term friend. Oh no, Grace just left. Wait. Oh. I can, or I don't know if Grace is, but you asked who's Grace's favorite SMP member. Oh, you know, I'm gonna ask if I can ask her if she can come back. One sec. They have questions. Let's see if Grace is still available. I know Grace has to come over to practice in about an hour, so she probably can't stay for too long if she can. But I'll ask her if she can, but she does have to drive over here soon. But I see a few of you have questions, so I'll ask. But if she's busy, because she's we've been practicing for gigs. Okay, she can come back. She can come back. She'll answer your questions. All right. All right, here, I'm reading her. Hello. I forgot to ask chat if they had any more questions, and I saw several of them had questions for you. So are you ready? Are you up for a few more questions? I think she picked up. It's quiet. Hold on, let me check this. All right. Grace, let me know if you can hear me. I'll be reading the chat. I'll just answer a question in chat real quick. How am I today? I'm good. Thank you for asking, Natalie. Here, let me see. Can you hear me? Great. I think Grace is muted. I'm just checking if she's.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Can you
cool.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
Okay.
now. All right, cool. I forgot to ask chat if they had any questions for you, and there's a few. I won't keep you too long though, since I know we do have to practice, and I can't stream for too much longer because if you guys didn't know, we're playing a gig. We're gonna play at the Orange County Fair. There's information about it on my Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube community tab if you're interested. So you have to practice. But how about we end stream by asking Grace a few more questions. So let's see what chat asked. The first question chat gave you is, who is your favorite SMP member, and what was your favorite song of mine that you produced?
Favorite SMP member. Okay, I saw this and I was like thinking, and then I was like, oh, shoot, wait, I don't know. But okay, I think like off the top of my head, I feel like Ranboo is my favorite. I really like him.
Yeah.
And I just like the B duo
Yeah,
in
the
general.
B
Like not
duo.
even in the SMP, but also like just not in the SMP.
Yeah.
I really like watching their streams.
Yeah. Whenever we're practicing, you'll go up on a tangent about the bead duo. It's great though. It's great. And then what was your favorite song of mine that you produced?
Oh, okay. Well, I think that like my favorite song, you already like said it at the beginning of the stream, but like my favorite song of yours is definitely Bittersweet. I don't know why. Just like that's like the prettiest one to me, and I was like, I remember producing it and being like, wow, I love this so much. But besides that, I had a lot of fun producing Chessboard.
Oh yeah.
That was the first one actually that like you sent to me that I didn't have to like go over to your house for.
Yeah.
So I got to like do a lot more with that. What else did I
What
like?
Real quick, what Grace is saying by that, in case you guys don't know, so for the first few times Grace helped me produce my songs, she would have to come over and work on my computer, but she could only stay for a few hours, so we'd have to finish the song in like a few hours. But then when Grace got Logic, I was able to send the song over to her so that she had a copy on her own computer and was able to work on it longer. But did you I'll let you get back to your thought. Did you have another song you said you wanted to mention, or no?
I have to think. Bittersweet, Chessboard, Don't Stray. I'm just trying to think of like all of the songs. I don't know. I think Bittersweet and Chessboard are my favorites. My top two favorites.
That's awesome. All right. Let's see. Is there? I think those were the only questions. One last time I'll ask. Does anybody else in chat have a music related question for Grace? If not, then I'll let Grace go, and then I'll have to wrap up stream so that we can practice, because Grace has to come over to practice. I'll wait a little bit just because of the stream delay.
Mm-hmm.
But I see a lot of bench trio and yes and chat and same.
Bench trio.
Yeah, bench trio, B duo, they're all great. Let's see. I see someone in chat said, at camp we're painting a Dream SMP sign, and my friend painted Michael and Ranboo's head and Ranboo on the bench, but the wait That's great. That's great. Yes, Rambu fan art. I don't see any other messages though. It could be stream delay, or maybe that's all the questions people had. Okay. All right. Mora says no. Barry wants me to tell you that they all say hi. So chat says hi.
Hello.
But all right. I think that's all the questions. But yeah, I'll definitely if I'll have to do another stream with Grace in the future. This is fun. This has been fun. Now I'll let you go for real this time, and then I'll wrap up stream since we have to go practice for our gig.
Okay.
But thanks for coming back. I'll see you later.
All right. Bye.
All right. Now it is time to wrap up stream. I'm gonna read chat and just wrap things up. That's cool. That sounds like a cool drawing at your camp. Well, anyways, thank you all so much for coming to the stream today. I'm sorry that the stream's not as long as usual, but I have to practice for the gig that I'm doing with Grace in Orange County. But I will try to stream more. I want to do more music streams. I've been doing a lot of Minecraft streams. I still want to do Minecraft streams though, because I love doing Minecraft. I love playing Minecraft. It's so fun. I love playing on the Troublemakers SMP. Definitely have a lot of stuff planned for that. But I also want to do more concert streams where we just vibe and chill and play music. So be on the lookout for that. I was also thinking of doing like a big special concert stream like right before the gig that I have. So we'll see. But yeah, thank you all for coming to the stream today. I hope that you were able to learn something, that maybe my advice helped you, and you've all been wonderful. I hope you have an amazing evening, morning, afternoon, whatever the time is for you, and I'll see you